Is it me? Or is it only the colored athletes that aren't allowed to speak about things outside of sports without being harassed and demonized? White privilege.
Turn that shit off. Beat manipulation. This moisture must mean precipitation or perspiration. Terminal velocity.
BBN, Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Hey, before the video even start, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. Alright, so the other day, LeBron James sent out a tweet criticizing 45 for the riots that's happening in Charlottesville, Virginia. And look, first of all, I'm on his side. I do believe that the current president that we do have kind of stirred up a certain group of individuals who were kind of not really, they were active. Don't get it confused, but they weren't as emboldened as they seem now with some of the rhetoric that he has used in order to get himself elected. And after he has been elected, some of the terminology that he has used about making America great again and things as such. Because let's keep it a buck. Who has America ever been great for other than white people? I'm just saying. I'm not bashing white people. I'm just saying. Every other race of people that have been here has been has had I don't want to say racism put towards them as much as bigotry, as much as either enslaved, has been kicked out of the country, tons of different things for like basically you get my point. I don't really want to go too far into that, because the point I want to make is I'm not a LeBron James fan, everybody. I respect his talent, don't get me wrong, and I absolutely respect some of the things that he do in the community. Don't get it confused. But as far as me being a LeBron James fan, when he comes on TV, I'm like, "Go James." I'm not one of those guys. But it seems the people who are supposed to be one of those guys have been tearing him up on social media after he made his tweet. Look, I'm one of those people that I absolutely hate when individuals say, "You're an athlete, you can't talk about politics." He's still an American. If you from, I don't even know what country Bangladesh is in, but if you're from that area where Bangladesh is, and you decide, is that India? It's India, right? And you decide to speak up against your country, the people in the country aren't going to say you should be quiet. This is crazy. This is why America is so weird. If you're from Mexico and you speak up against the injustices of the people in Mexico, the people in Mexico aren't going to say you're an athlete, stop talking. This doesn't happen anywhere except for America. Why? Because the majority of our athletes are black. Let's just keep it a buck. Especially in the sports where people speak out the most. And when they speak out, they're speaking about injustices against the demographic that they belong to. Now, with that being said, you have some people that speak out against the injustices that they believe is happening against blacks. You have people that speak out against the injustices that they believe happen against people in the LBGT community. I don't know if I said that correctly, but I'm trying to say that. You have people that speak out against the injustices that they believe happen against them. You have people that speak out about the injustices that happen against everyone. Like every group has somebody that's speaking out against the injustices that happen to them. But it seems like whenever anyone speaks out about the injustices that happens against the blacks and they're an athlete, it's like that's it. It's like, why are you guys even talking? You're an athlete. You're not supposed to know anything. That is just this. That's why when anyone tells me anything about white supremacy, or anybody tells me anything about how white privilege doesn't exist, I just look at them like you're either purposely lying or you're trying to trick me into also getting on board with the BS. You understand? Because there's no way that you can tell me that you don't know that it exists. You know that it exists. Maybe you want to see where I'm at. Maybe you want to see if I'm a coon. Maybe you want to see if I'm one of these guys that, you know, every time somebody talks negative about black people, they just jump right on board. Yeah, those blacks. I don't know what's wrong with us. We just can't get it together. It's the self-hate. They try to foster the self-hate in us. That's all it is, and that's fine. Because if you're going to be weak enough to fall for it, then who am I to tell you that you shouldn't be doing it? But at the same time, when we have somebody that's strong enough to not fall for it, we have to get behind them. Colin Kaepernick, we should be getting behind Colin Kaepernick. LeBron James, on this issue, we need to be getting behind LeBron James. All athletes should be speaking out on this, not just LeBron James. It's a shame that he's in this by himself. But, you know, the powers that be is holding Colin Kaepernick down. So you already know. See, basketball is different from football. In football, you could remove somebody and it's much easier. In basketball, there's only like 14 spots on the roster. You got the 12 guys, and then you got, I think, 2 to 3 extra spots for people just in case somebody gets injured. That's it. So it's a big deal when you have a superstar that speaks out on something. Because that superstar gets removed out of the equation, the whole entire league loses money. And they can't have that. That's why the NBA is so against racism. The NBA, you think that if somebody in the NBA decides not to stand because due to the national anthem for a good reason, and they're a superstar, the NBA isn't going to kick them out the league like they did Colin Kaepernick. The NBA is going to find a way to spin it. They're just smarter than the NFL as far as that regard. In my opinion. And also, when you look at the NFL, as much as we have, blacks that love the NFL, their fan base, their fan base is mostly whites. Most of the people that you're going to be upsetting is these white supremacists, these Nazis. That's who you're going to be upsetting. You have to find a team that that needs Colin Kaepernick, and also at the same time has a big enough fan base that is not white supremacist type people that organization doesn't lose money when they bring him in. I mean, I know it sounds so easy. Everybody is making it sound so simple and it's so easy. But it's really not that simple and easy, although it can be done. There's no reason why Colin Kaepernick should not already be signed. Don't get me confused. I'm not saying, oh, they have a reason. I'm saying there is no reason, but I can't understand that there's problems with the logistics. Anyway, that's all I got on this one. So I want y'all to leave the comments down below. I want to know what y'all think about this because it's crazy. And then, to add insult to injury, the majority of the people that's telling LeBron James to be quiet are Cleveland fans. You got it. Cleveland fans. So that just goes to show you what kind of town he lives in. He lives in an area that's probably predominantly Ku Klux Klan. You're black or you're racist. And then, they got like sprinkled in regular people. They got tons of regular people. But they also have a large contingency of Nazis there. He's getting thousands of replies to tell him to be quiet and mind his business. And lots of them are from people from Cleveland. And their tags even say Cleveland on the tags. Their names, it says Cleveland. So this is crazy. And this is what he went back to. And this is why when he left, they burned everything. All right? He should have knew not to go back. But he did. Because it was a dream. It's everybody's dream to play for their favorite team or their hometown team. It is what it is. To win a chip there. It is what it is. I could understand why he went back. But I'm just saying, I also understand why he's not re-signing with them dudes. It don't make sense. With that being said, if you're a player that want to come play somewhere where racism is not going to be involved with anything that's going on with you, you got to go somewhere like LA. You got to go to New York. You got to go to Chicago. If you don't want to be involved in racism, you got to go to one of them teams. I can't even really say Miami, but you could go to Miami, because I don't think Miami will be a problem either. I up until 2 seasons ago, I would have said OKC. But after the whole thing that happened with Durant, I can't even say that, because I personally think that there's some racism involved with that. You know, you was our N-word. How you gonna just leave us? Anyway, I want to hear some comments down below about what y'all think about this. So like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. #Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. That's all I got on this one. I'm out.